More than 20 years ago, I was at the Bojutsu camp, which is a large martial arts camp that they used to have in the hills of San Francisco. And they used to have it every year, and now it's held in New Jersey by a fellow named Jack Hogan, who just happens to be my mentor. Maybe you know Jack, and maybe you don't. If you don't, look him up. H-O-B-A-N, Hogan. Very interesting guy. He was a Marine, and he trained Marines for many, many years at Camp Quantico. Imaging kind of stuff. Nobody says that, but that's what it was. Anyway, this is about more than 20 years ago. And I had just come back from Japan, and I thought it was pretty good. I've been living there for several years, training with the best of the best. I got my butt kicked regularly when I was there. And I had already had 15 years of martial arts training before I even went to Japan, started living in Japan. But they had plenty to show me, and I had plenty to learn. And anyway, I moved back home, and I think about a year later, I found myself at this camp. And Jack, who was running the show, goes, "Jim, you're going to protect this guy from this other guy over here." I'm like, "That's it?" He's like, "Yeah, this guy is going to attack this guy, and your job is to protect him." And I go, "No problem. I'm going to attack the shit out of this guy. Watch this." And I did. This guy attacked this guy, and I intervened. I grabbed him, throw him down, put him in a lock, this whole thing. And there's a crowd of my people, because I knew what this was about. Let's see what Jim's got. Oh, he's just back from Japan. And so I showed them. Threw him down in the dirt, twisted him up, and I was like, "Yeah, that's adequate." And I looked back to check on my protectee, and he was gone. He'd been nabbed by a second unknown attack. So it turns out I wasn't very good at all, because I let my job, my duty, get supplanted by my pride. That's what happened. My job was to protect this person, this life. That was my job. Not to beat up this guy, not to show off, not to do any of this other stuff. It was to protect the life of this person. And I failed. And that lesson stayed with me forever, for the rest of me. That's why martial arts matter to me. The protector ethic. If it weren't for the protector ethic, why are we doing martial arts? Because we think they're cool. We think they're interesting. If you take CPR and all of its techniques and you divorce it from the life-saving part of it, what's left? So you stand up and do this, stand up, and then there's some breathing. That's it. But what does it mean anymore? What does it matter anymore once it's broken away from the life-saving elements? What does it matter? I think that's very true of martial arts. I think if you take martial arts and you divorce the life-saving part, the protecting part out of martial arts, and you're just doing the stuff, I'm not sure. I think it only matters when it's connected. That's it. And that connection bears you competency. That's the difference. you connect it together, you become competent in the use of this stuff because you have a fuller understanding of how all of this stuff gets protected. I get protected, the person I'm protecting gets protected, and maybe even, if I'm good enough, even my opponent, even my enemy gets protected. I don't have to hurt them, I don't have to kill them. Because that's what I would prefer. If they need to be killed, and there's no other option, that's different. Because there's no other option. But too often, when martial artists start talking about this stuff, it's the first option. What's this option? It's, it's like, grab it, rip his throat out. I'm sorry, back up. We need to rip out. Well, it becomes, and you should talk about it. You should recognize what it is and why it is that.